I'm Jill Breslau. I've been practicing law off and on since 1977 when I graduated from Georgetown. Before going to Georgetown, I was at Boston College Law School my first year. And it was a very interesting year because I had a 2-year-old at the time and I was pregnant. My daughter was born 10 days after first year finals. Some of my professors had to bring the exams to my house so that I wouldn't give birth in a classroom. And I made law review. So my experience of Boston College Law School and of law school in general was incredibly positive. When I was at Georgetown, we arranged my schedule so that I had 4 days a week of classes and 1 day a week to spend with my son at a cooperative preschool, which was really interesting in the 70s because after I graduated, I had difficulty finding work because I was married and had children. But I opened a practice in Sarasota, Florida, which developed into a family law practice, and it didn't take me long to figure out that there had to be a better way to do family law than in a regular adversarial process. It was too painful for well-intentioned people who had no alternative, who had no other way to resolve things. So in late 1980, I discovered mediation, and I was trained as a mediator. I went off to mediation training with a friend who was a marriage and family therapist, and we began talking about mediation. Now, at that time, mediation was not a household word. No one had heard of it, and so they weren't sure whether we were coming to talk about mediation or meditation. But we explained, and of course, in the years since, you know that mediation is very well known and has taken many, many forms. But we considered ourselves pioneers in South Florida of a mediation process. Mediation eventually led me into a career change because I got so curious about the underlying psychodynamics of people who, even under the best circumstances, couldn't come to an agreement. So after 16 years of practicing law, I became a counseling psychologist. I also studied Rosen method bodywork, kind of touch therapy, and eventually had a practice doing both of those in Colorado. And I also taught in a community college. I taught psychology and critical thinking. From there I moved to Madison, Wisconsin for a couple of years where I, among other things, worked on a book about law and psychology and helped my son and daughter-in-law take care of my first grandchild. Then I moved to Silver Spring, Maryland, where I live around the corner from my daughter and her husband, and I'm back practicing law. I'm in a family law firm. There's 6 family lawyers. We offer collaborative law. I'm also trained as a parent coordinator working with parents who have conflicts around custody, visitation issues, other child-related issues, and hoping, well, I believe that my entire background is something that has become integrated into the way I am. Sometimes I have to practice in a narrower way than the full scope of my training and background would allow, but all of it is within me to be available to clients. You know, it's, I've thought a lot about, and I know and have worked with a lot of lawyers over the years. I have a deep affection for lawyers, and at the same time I feel that a lot of lawyers are incredibly intelligent people who have chosen or who have fallen into leading narrow lives. Their lives don't reflect their potential. And so the concept of holistic lawyers suggests that these are lawyers who are excellent lawyers and they also have allowed themselves to expand as human beings. So that's really the inspiration for connecting with the IAHL and getting acquainted with lawyers who are really practicing holistically. My legal heroes in the law, you know, it's hard not to flash first on Gandhi, I guess because of my deep appreciation for, I guess I see litigation as one form of violence. It's very civilized violence, but I see negotiation and certainly mediation and collaboration as really non-violent methods of reaching positive ends, of getting to closure. And so, you know, how can we not think first of Gandhi? Also in contemporary culture, I think about Morris Dees at the Southern Poverty Law Center. I found it so exciting when certain kinds of legal actions didn't bring about hoped for outcomes. When, for instance, criminal prosecutions of certain kinds of behavior didn't work, to go through civil litigation and then wind up getting large judgments that basically shut down the operations of hate mongers. That's astonishing. It's brilliant. It's fabulous work. And it's really using the law at its best for a compelling social justice goal. It's very exciting. I think a lot of cause lawyers are doing beautiful work in the world that's not acknowledged, but what they do really changes the quality of life for